Hello and welcome to another Tuesday at 2. We're glad you're here. As many of you know, my sister Allison Nissen and I hosted this show with the intention of celebrating another woman in business while we are able to ask her questions on how she got started on her journey and learn from her. And today I'm very excited to welcome Penny Giovanna, who spent the first 20 years of her career in real estate. And so she's handling everything from complex commercial transactions to first-time home purchases. And she witnessed a lot of her clients making major life decisions. And at one point, she decided that her true vision was helping women face their major challenges, something like, say, divorce or death of a spouse, through providing financial planning services and really providing a service that would help them beyond just a home, but something for a lifetime support. And so Penny has had an opportunity to pivot with her career and launch a business in financial services. So Penny, I'm very glad you're here. Welcome to Tuesday at 2, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Marcy and Allison. It's a pleasure to be with you both. I laugh a little bit because you said the word pivot, and I feel like that should be my middle name. But every time I hear it, I think of the Friends episode with Ross. And if you're a Friends person, you know which one I'm referring to. So yes.
That's awesome. Well, we will now nick you Penny Pivot. So Penny, give us a little background. So there was a moment that you thought, so you've got this successful career in real estate, and there's a moment you thought, maybe I could go into financial planning and kind of, change my career path. Can you just share with us, what compelled you to think about that thought and then to actually take action on that dream?
Sure. So I've always had a passion for investments, personal finance, and just how the individual built wealth. So I was always reading the books, listening to all the different people on the TV, Susie Orman, all of the ones that you probably know. It just was a personal interest for many years. I really enjoyed my career in real estate, and really thought that would be the place that I'd stay and make my mark in the business world. A few things happened just in personal situations that kind of drew me into making some changes. One of them we're all familiar with is in the real estate market crashed in that 2006, 2008 timeframe. And then some personal things that I dealt with, and I really kind of did some soul searching and said, where do you really see yourself in the future? Where do you want to be? So that kind of led me down that path of trying to figure out what the next phase of life was going to look like for myself.
So you have this moment where you're like, maybe something could be a little different. And your vision started to come clear that you wanted to really make an impact with women that had gone through some difficult times in their lives. Can you describe, like, all of a sudden this vision, did it start taking shape, or what was the moment that you said, all right, this is the direction I'm going to go?
Yeah, so it was not a fast decision. It was something that really evolved over time. I knew that I wanted to get into the investment and finance world. I was clear on that. So the first step on that path was I took a position at a big bank that a name we're all familiar with. And that's where I started to see where I could really fit that niche with women. There's two stories that just, I just can't get rid of, that really, I think, were kind of pivotal to that pathway. There's my word. So there was one woman that came in to the branch, and I was at that point a licensed banker. So I was not a financial advisor. My role was to kind of help with the banking side and then identify people that needed the financial advisor and then call them into the situation. So there was a woman in particular just suddenly lost a husband. There was no time to plan. It was not, an illness that was expected. And she came in for some banking needs, and, I just connected with her, and over time built a relationship with her. And, she'd come in the office and we'd cry together. We'd, figure out her paperwork together. And then at some point I would have to hand her off to the financial advisor when she needed that. And that empathy and that connection, I didn't see that coming through from the advisors, and it was so difficult for me to, really just let them go and not have that same level of service. I'd say the final straw, though, was the second client that comes to mind, and this was a lady, different situation. She was probably in her 80s. And she had always been someone that lived like modestly, paycheck to paycheck, had a small savings, and inherited from her brother a large investment portfolio of stocks and some different things. And she was really struggling with that for a reason that was really surprising to me. She felt an obligation because her brother left her this big sum of money, and she wasn't quite sure how to, it was like overwhelming to her, I guess is the way to say it. So I remember reaching out to the advisor, and I was just so very disappointed with the way it went down. It was pre-packaged suggestion for her. No, let me get to know the client, no conversation, know what's important to you. And those two situations really led me to kind of investigate that and say, I think I can do a much better job than what I'm seeing, especially for women that need that extra care. And from there, the journey continued.
We've had a lot of these interviews where we're interviewing people that are successful and we get feedback from them. And the one thing I'm hearing from you that I feel like is so consistent is that when you really care about what you're doing, no matter what the change is, it seems a little bit easier because you have that, compelling story that's helping you say, because to say you want to do something, but to become a CFP, I know there's a ton of, tests you need to take. I mean, that's not an easy feat. So can you describe a little more? So you recognize the pass off to other advisors and they're a little more transactional, and you're like, it could be a better service. So now you have to go into the journey of getting everything from getting your qualifications, building your confidence, kind of that commitment. Talk us about that journey. Was that challenging, or was that something it was just a part of the getting to the end?
Oh boy, challenging is probably an understatement, to be quite honest with you. I had no idea how difficult it would be. I've always been a student, so I enjoyed learning, and the test taking was not a problem. I have a Series 6, 7, 63, you name it. I have all of them, and just recently completed the CFP, which was tough, but it was, thank you. Yeah. Very important to me that I had those credentials so I could, again, pass on that service and knowledge and hopefully add value to clients. But I think the hardest part of the journey, quite frankly, was getting my foot in the door and being treated respectfully and as a serious professional from some of the firms that, the big firms, just getting in the door. And, it really, I think I shared some stats with the two of you. In the industry, a financial advisor industry, there's only about, and I don't have the exact number, I think it's 33% women in the industry. Very much, it's a challenge, because not only do you have the men in the profession that, not all, never blanket statement, but many that really don't take women seriously in the industry. But then you also have, surprising to me, that many women aren't as friendly and as welcoming to the other women either. So that was very challenging. however, I have the personality where if you tell me I can't do it, or you kind of blow me up, I'm just going to get in there and prove to you why I can do it. So persistence definitely paid off. I have some stories that were very negative, but I was just bound and determined to do this. And I just kept trying until I found an advisor. Actually, I had gone back into the real estate industry because I just was not having any success in getting into a role. And just happened upon, I was back in the real estate world, happened upon an Indeed job ad with a gentleman that gave me a chance. And to this day, we're very close. He's a mentor to me, excuse me. And that started me on the path. I didn't stay at that firm because it was just 3 people, and I really knew I needed a solid training to get to that next level. So I got an offer, 2 offers at the time from bigger firms that had that training program to get me started. So I made the switch there. Then was recruited to one of the larger brokerage houses, and realized that really wasn't the best fit for me either. After 20 years of being independent and in, a role where, I kind of set the pace, I really feel more at home in the independent channel. So that's where I'm at now. And, hoping that this is final stop on my journey. But, we never know. It's in someone else's hands other than mine. But yeah, so does that help give you some background on how it all worked out?
I am so impressed, Penny, with your journey. I think that the fact that you've been able to articulate all the different twists that are along the way is fantastic. But I heard something that's really special to me, and that was that you found a person who was willing to mentor you. And I like to call those you champions. So you find those people that champion you, right? They're there on your team, they're in your corner, and they're going to guide you. And how special was it to be able to find that person? But I want to talk about what it was that he did that really helped set you up for success.
Yeah, so I have been blessed in my life. I had a husband and wife couple that were mentors to me in the real estate industry, because I was very young when I got into real estate. And then, of course, the gentleman I mentioned in my current career, I really just felt like he was there's just these rare gem of people that you come across in your life. And when you find them, you just know they're special and there's that connection. He saw something apparently in me that he felt that he should give me a chance, and we just connected. I teased him and often called him my bigger brother, my older brother, because we did have that. And he ended up going off into a different direction. He's still in the industry, but this is a fellow that was a hedge fund manager. I mean, he's a CFA, CFP. He's got all the marks behind his name, and he just, he took the time to just get to know the person. And like I said, I think he just saw something there that he felt, needed a chance, and he gave me that opportunity. And I'll forever be grateful for that.
Do you want to describe what? Did you sit down and have meetings? Did he give you books to read? Did he say, all right, so watch how we do X so that you can understand and then do it on your own? Was it those sort of lessons?
He and I had more of like a friendly, it was not it was more of like just a camaraderie type. So I would go on meetings with him. Yes, there were books, there were, all of the, but it was a very low-key conversational way that he and I connected. So we're only probably 5, 6, 7 years apart. So it was more, it wasn't such as like with my real estate mentors, where they were kind of more in the parental type role to me. This is more of a peer, but someone who is at a very high level, and a lot of mutual respect, collaboration on meetings. But he also, let me run with a lot of the things where he saw that I could, really just take off, and he would oversee. But it was a very comfortable type of relationship, if that makes sense.
It's always so great to have mentors, like just somebody that is expressive in the sense of, I believe in your capabilities.
Yes.
I want to help teach you something. And it gives you that safe place to grow your confidence, ask questions and things like that. And it's like, we always need those champions along the way. So I just want to celebrate that fact, because, you always have mentors when you're, the teens go to these mentorship groups, they go to college, like you have a professor that mentors you. And then all of a sudden in life, people forget to keep looking for them. So I think that's so powerful to have that.
Absolutely. And that's something I'd like to
I'd love to
pass
go
on.
back.
All right. So Marcy, you're having a little bit of a lag.
Yeah.
So Marcy, you have a lag. Are you back? Nope. Okay. She's got a lag. So I'll just take over the next question.
All right, let's do it, Allison.
So I really do love the idea of mentorship, as I am I personally have worked with a lot of students, and I understand those challenges that people have, finding someone to really answer those questions, to help walk them through their path and their journey. And so if you were going to now find someone that's off to the financial world, how would you go in there, and how would you try to be their champion?
Yeah, absolutely. I would welcome that opportunity. It's such a wonderful field, especially for young people and young women. The industry really fits. I mean, the things that you do in your everyday world fits so well with women's natural skill sets. So I would definitely encourage any women and young women, career changers like myself, to get in the industry and find a mentor. Some of the things I would say, just if I were recommending to someone getting in industry, is, don't give up. There will be challenges. There will be doors that don't open. But if you keep on, persevering and keep on looking, there are opportunities. And I'm seeing just in the last 1 to 2, 3 years, changes and opportunities for women. Diversity's become very important. People and companies are starting to see, just having collaboration of all different people is important. And so just, if it's something that you feel like you want to do, that you should really pursue it. It's a wonderful opportunity. And there are people like myself. I would be happy to mentor and, just share some of the pros, the cons, the different paths. There's a lot of different pathways within the industry that one can choose to go. All of those things, just, find your place and just go for it.
Marcy, you want to try to ask your question again? Maybe you're back. Or maybe you're not. Still slow Wi-Fi where Marcy is, but it's an awfully pretty background. Has your vision changed since you started to shift from the real estate to the banking to the certified financial planning?
I think, am I not?
Are you back, Marcy?
I think I'm back.
You're kind of still lagging. Darn.
No, we missed you, Marcy. Do you want me to answer that, Allison? Or
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, yes, it's a very timely question.
Can you hear?
Oh, I hear Marcy coming back in.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and answer.
Okay. All right. Well, we miss you, Marcy. Yeah. So just in the last couple of weeks.
All right, I'll let you guys continue.
Okay. Okay. There's been a couple of new opportunities presented to me, maybe a little more in the portfolio management and the investment piece of the industry. That's something that I'm interested in getting a little more on the technical part of it. I will never, give up working directly with clients, but add that piece into the puzzle. So maybe the CFA down the road, which is more on the analysis side, just to add again to add to what I'm doing. So yeah, the one thing is, for me, it's always important to continue to grow, and so that's where I see potentially some growth in that area as well.
Well, it sounds like you want the whole alphabet after your name.
Maybe.
I think that's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and applaud you. I love the fact that you are continuing to talk about growth, because we have this idea, we get this vision, like I can do this, I can do this better, I can do it more gracefully, I can be more involved, more hands-on, and then we start to take action. We align our action with that vivid vision, which is fantastic. And then we have to embrace that growth mindset, right? So, because without growing, what do they say? You're either growing or dying, you're growing or decaying, yes. I think it is the expression. Mm-hmm. And that's where we really need to focus, is that growth. But how do you balance and keep it all like in harmony? How do you, go home at the end of the day and think, okay, I've balanced this, I kept it. I like to say harmony because I feel like life isn't a mathematical problem, which is, balance is like one piece here, one piece here, and they equal each other out. Like that's balance. Like, no, some days it's a little heavier on one side than the other. So, let's talk about the harmony part about career and your journey. And then, when you go home and you think about, oh, I want to do this next, like, how do you balance I know if you got a CFA, it would be a lot of studying.
Yeah, so that is something that is, a great thing to bring up. My husband, after I did the CFP, he's like, "You're done, right? Right? You're done." So there is that balance. So of course, you've got to put your clients first, and family, faith is very important to me. So all of those things make up who I am as a person, and they all translate into who I am as a professional. So it's very important to me to focus on what I'm doing in the moment. But then I am, I've been told that I'm good with boundaries and compartmentalizing things. So I think for whatever reason, I've developed those skills. And, when I'm with my family, I'm with my family. When I'm with clients, I'm with clients. And, of course, you can have the best boundaries in the world, but pivoting is always important, as we know. However, I am very protective of those different areas. So, that I think that's been something that I've learned to be able to use. And, there's some overlap. There's always some overlap, but for the most part, I try and stay present in the moment wherever I am.
Well, that's so important for your customers, especially because with financial planning, it's so private and confidential that they really want you to be fully present. So to be able to compartmentalize is such a gift. And so it sounds like I'm back.
Yay, Marcy's back, yes.
Okay, I really apologize.
You're not back all the way.
You're not back. You're kind of back.
Well, maybe Marcy type me a question and I can.
Entire conversation going on, but I guess I had a lag. So then I was muted and it sounded like I was interrupting you. It's like,
Yes. So what advice do you have
Terrible.
on adding new clients? So finding clients, that's a big part of it and a big stressor for a lot of different people.
It is. It is challenging. That's probably one of the most challenging pieces of the industry is bringing on new clients, especially in the last couple of years where a lot of the traditional networking opportunities kind of shut down. So again, the pivot thing comes up. I think the main thing that I've seen in both my real estate career, because that was a similar situation as far as bringing clients, and what I'm doing now is there's two things that have helped me. Is one is just building trust within the community, being your authentic self, whether it's just being involved in whatever it is that you enjoy doing. I think if you force it and you do things just to try and get clients, that people pick up on that. It's really just being part of the community, and letting people just see who you are and building that trust. And that takes time. So that's not a quick fix by any means, but it is, in my opinion, the best way to really build your brand and build your business within clients. And then the second thing that has worked well for me is just teaming up with other professionals. Right now I'm independent, but I'm part of a greater team. So that gives me opportunities that I might not have had without the team. And in my real estate life, I had the same scenario where I was teamed up with other professionals, and it has worked well for me.
Do you use cross-industry connections as well? So you partner up with people that are in a different profession, and then you can offer, that connection to your clients along the way.
Absolutely, yeah. That's we call them centers of influence in the industry, but basically, there's CPAs, state attorneys that they need our help, we need their help. Clients come to us, and we always try and just know who their team of professionals are, and just try and complement and collaborate with them, because the more we can know about the client and help the client, that at the end of the day, it's good for everyone.
I think that's really a great way of running business, is maintaining the connections. Can you let us know how people could get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I am a big advocate on LinkedIn. So you will find me on LinkedIn. Also, the firm that I'm working for is the Financial Cornerstone Group, and I'm based in Rockledge, Florida. So you can find me online, and we can share contact information. If you'd like, I can give that to you, and share it with anyone that's like. We are definitely accepting new clients. So be happy to speak to anyone that thinks I can help.
Well, I think it's great. Marcy, how are you doing? Are you back?
I don't know. I'm hesitant, but
Poor Marcy.
Or Marcy, but you've got a great picture, which is really good.
Awesome.
Hear the whole conversation, which is nice.
All right. Well, Marcy, we'll have to try again next week. But I'd like to say thank you for everyone who is joining us and listening to this conversation. It's Better Together with Revel Coach. And today we are lucky enough to have Penny Giovanna. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you all next week. Follow us on YouTube or on Facebook. We too like LinkedIn a lot. So connect with us on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a great place to grow your communities. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I'm going to try to shut this off. Bye.